guys. This is Carrie with Fullerton Professional Organizing. And in this podcast, we help you declutter your faith, your home, and your business. Now, I've had this guest before, and she has another business that we are going to talk about with you today. And I am going to go ahead and let her because some of you have seen her on the podcast and some of you haven't. So I'm going to go ahead and just let her introduce herself and tell us what she does and why.
Hi, Carrie. Thank you so much for having me here today. I appreciate it. And for the opportunity to share. Today, I want to talk to everybody about my health and wellness journey. So, my second business has to do with that, but I need to share first who I am, where I came from, and how it all started. So, if I didn't say it, my name is Linda Noell, and I am a mother of 10 children. And I am also a widow. My husband passed away about 6 years ago. And since then, I started my own nonprofit, which was the subject of a previous podcast.
Mhm.
And on this podcast, we're going to talk about another journey that I have even more recently embarked on, a business that I'm working in. And before I tell you what exactly it is, I just want to tell you about my health journey. So, like I said, I've had 10 kids. So, going back, my son is actually turning, my oldest son is turning 50 today. So, 50 years ago, I had my first baby. For the next 20 years, I was in a pregnant, non-pregnant nursing mode for 20 years, which, as you can imagine, was very taxing on my body. Pregnant, nursing, not pregnant, pregnant, nursing, not pregnant. So a continual juggle of health and wellness and also weight gain, weight loss, weight gain, weight loss.
Mhm.
So all that to be said, after my seventh child, when I was 38, was probably the last time that I got down to pre-baby weight. After that, after I had eight, nine, and 10, it was nearly impossible. As I was older, getting down to pre-baby weight was something that was very difficult for me. And for the next 20 plus years, most people just forgave me and said, "Oh, she's heavy. She's had 10 kids. What do you expect?" And I started forgiving myself too. I'm like,
Mhm.
guess it's just never going to happen for me. I'm never going to be able to lose weight again. And so I'm probably up around 175, 185 for a good while. And when my husband passed 6 years ago, I gained more weight because of the stress of not only caring for him as we were dealing with his cancer, but then when he passed, just stress eating has been my major problem, probably my entire life, but what really came to the front after my husband passed away. And so in my journey, when I got to the point where the scale was reaching 230 pounds, I was like, oh my God, I have got to do something. This is ridiculous. This is just out of control. So I started looking for help, and over the course of the next couple months, and with the help of a friend, I started working out. I went to a gym. I met my present coach, who's been my coach for the last 6 years, and he has helped me tremendously on my health and wellness journey. I'm going to show you a picture of where I was. If you can see this, Carrie, tell me, because I can't tell if you're getting it or not.
Yes, that's good. No
So,
glare right now.
so I that was me at 230 pounds, and after working with my coach for about a year and a half, I got down to 145, 150 pounds.
Very lovely.
So that took some work,
Yes.
but
And
he was able to help me with a lot of different things. You know, sleep was an issue when I first started working with him because I really wasn't sleeping During the time we were battling cancer, I was always afraid my husband was going to pass in the night, so I was a very light sleeper, and I just assumed when he passed, I would just go back to sleeping again. But that didn't happen. I was sleeping 2 or 3 hours a night, and then I just couldn't sleep. And
Yeah.
obviously, him not being there was part of it, but I didn't even know myself what was going on. It was just one
Mhm.
of those difficult times, but my coach did help with, getting me on like melatonin to start with. I took some mega dose of melatonin that you can't do without supervision. I think he had me on like 30 milligrams,
Mm.
some huge dose just to get me to sleep. And then we worked on other things, of course, with stress and eating. And of course, I met him through his gym and started exercising. So
Mhm.
my routine became part of my life, getting up and exercising and paying attention to my diet, paying attention to my sleep, and of course, making sure that I was also spending time with the Lord, which was something that I'd always done, but
Mhm.
in my daily routine, it was something that was more scheduled, I think, than it ever had been. Like it was there,
Right.
but get up and exercise, get up and have my daily word time, get up
Right.
and, you
Developing
know,
habits that are maybe a little more consistent. And
exactly. Mhm.
sleep, they say that sleep also affects your weight as well, right?
Yes.
That's
Mhm.
one of the reasons that became even more important, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yes, that was all of it all rolled up in one. But now, from what I'm learning in this new business that I'm involved in, is that a lot of it I do is something known as insulin resistance. So
Mhm.
I'm going to take a minute here. I'm going to share my screen with you and tell me if you can see this because I tried this before and we did get to the right place. And I'm trying to get there again. And I'm not sure I'm there yet. So you see that? How do I make it full screen? Let's see.
Well, right now, I don't see the page that we practiced on earlier.
You don't see insulin resistance?
No, I just see I guess a black or semi-gray screen.
Okay, let me see why it's not working. 'Cause I see
Let me
it.
check
I
my
know
share
I'm on the
button
right
again.
page.
Let me see.
Mhm.
Yeah, it says share, so we've got that.
Yeah, I see what you're seeing,
Oh, okay.
but I'm not seeing how to fix it. Let me see. Your screen is paused. Okay. Well, it's not working. So let me just read you what it says because I don't think I'm going to get it to work right now. My tech is not tech savvy is apparently not working at the moment. So the problem, the problem that 93% of American adults are facing today is being metabolically unhealthy. And this is called insulin resistance. So a lot of the ways that this presents itself to people is with belly fat, skin tags, inflammation, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, high blood sugar, Alzheimer's, migraines, erectile dysfunction, neuropathy, obesity, and diabetes. So all of those things are having to do with insulin resistance.
Hmm.
So what I've recently learned is there are lots of ways that we can heal our bodies when they become insulin resistant. So first of all, one of the first things that I didn't know that I was already doing that helps is fasting. So
Mm.
when I first had my major weight loss, I was following a keto diet.
Hmm.
So in the keto diet, you're fasting, and it depends on, individuals how long their fasting window is. But
Right.
in
And just for the
the
audience, We're talking about fasting or intermittent fasting. Can you explain? And I know you were getting there, but I just wanted the audience, if they don't know what it is, to pause and then I'll let you continue.
Yes. So in the case of healing insulin resistance, we're talking about intermittent fasting. So having a fasting window, which some people don't even realize that they automatically do when they stop eating, say at 8 o'clock, and they don't eat till 8 o'clock the next morning. Well, that's a 12-hour fasting window. But with the protocol that I'm doing now, we want to see that window extended. So, for example, what I'm doing is I try to not eat after 7 o'clock in the evening, and then I don't eat till noon the next day, giving myself a 16-hour fasting window, which is increasing my insulin sensitivity, which you want your body to be sensitive to insulin, but not resistant. So what ends up happening is a lot of times we hear that we should eat every 2.5 hours. Well, when we do this, we're constantly causing our insulin to spike and then we crash. And then we eat again and our insulin spikes and then we crash. And then we eat again and our insulin spikes and then we crash. So the ideal is to make it more level and not have it going up and down in this curve. That was another slide I wanted to show, but I'm sorry we didn't get the tech working today. But we want to keep that more level. And the way we do that is with the fasting. And then we eat, realizing that there's an order to eating, that we shouldn't start with carbs because carbs are mostly sugar, and sugar is what spikes insulin. So when we do eat, we want to eat fiber, protein, and healthy fats.
Yes,
Those three things don't spike our insulin the way carbs do.
the way I had it explained is you eat your, well, and it did say fiber, but your green fibery vegetables first,
Yes.
then your meat, and then if you're going to have a carb, it would be after those two things.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly right. So those things help us to regulate our insulin and keep the insulin from spiking. And so along with this protocol, doing that, and we drink 2 teas a day, which I forgot to bring my packets. I was going to show you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not at home. I'm at my office at work, and I didn't bring the packets, but we do have these bottles, and we drink 2 of these teas a day. And this one is actually the fiber, and one of these a day before our meals. So that helps stabilize our blood sugar and helps with that insulin
Mm-hmm.
spike. And then also just realizing that doing a little exercise is one of those things that helps with the insulin as well to keep us from spiking our insulin. Just
Mm-hmm.
walking after you eat, doing some simple exercise, nothing big. It doesn't have to be major. I mean, I do work out 4 days a week. I work out, I do resistance training, which I think is important for all of us as we're aging. I do resistance training twice a week. I do arms one day, legs one day, and then I do cardio 2 days a week. So I run on Tuesdays, and then I do some kind of hit or some kind of cardio on Thursdays. So I do exercise 4 days a week, but even if you don't do that, just moving your body a little bit more
Yeah,
helps.
yeah,
Just walking, just getting out there and doing some exercise and not feeling like you have to go to a gym, but you just move, move a little more than you did the day before,
yeah.
you
My
know.
husband walks the dog, and especially if he's cheated and had something that he wasn't supposed to have, um, he will take the dog for a walk. But I've had some ideas about, if you go eat and it happens to be that you can walk around the block right immediately right there. it keeps you from having to wait till you get home and walk. And I'm just talking about little extra steps, right? That
Exactly, exactly.
I think, maybe even if you were to eat breakfast, I don't really eat breakfast. I eat sometimes I have a low carb piece of bread with peanut butter on it. But if you were to eat something in the morning, walk around the block, get in your car and go to work, or right
Exactly.
when you, now this won't help be right after you eat, because really after you eat is the best time, right? But a little walk around the block right when you get home, because everybody knows as soon as you get home and you sit down, unless you're the
You're
one
done.
cooking, you're it may not happen. And these are just ideas for people to get started that don't do any exercising at all. I mean, because you can do one block 3 times a day
It's
just to get
good.
started.
Yes, exactly. And another thing is learning to, don't worry about parking as close as you can to where you need to
Yeah.
go. Park a little farther away.
And take the
Enjoy walking a
stairs.
little bit. Take a little bit of a walk. Okay,
Mhm.
park farther back at the grocery store. Don't worry about being up so close. It's okay to walk a little bit because walking is really one of the best exercises overall that you can do to help yourself. But I also have another picture I want to show you. So tell me again if you can see without glare. So
A little bit of a glare, just tilt it to well, I don't know which, my right, your left.
I know it's hard.
All right, there you go. Yeah, that's a good.
Okay, so the one that's a little bit heavier, I don't know if it's your left or my left, but that's me in January before I started the protocol. And the second one is me in May.
Yeah, the
So
peak.
yeah, I started the protocol in April. So
Mhm.
for in the first 2 months, I lost 10 pounds, and where I lost it was, in my midsection, and that was a really good thing. Because after I had had my initial weight loss, I found myself gaining a little bit, losing a little bit, gaining a little bit, losing a little bit, and actually over the course of like the last 3 years, because it's been now 4 years ago since I had the major weight loss. I
Mhm.
was gaining like 5 pounds back a year, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to keep gaining 5 pounds a year because I'm going to eventually get back to where I was. So I was kind of stuck. I could lose the weight, but every time I didn't reduce my calories, I would gain it back. But now being on this protocol has helped me again level out, lost that initial 10 pounds, and now being on the protocol, I can eat without being so concerned about every bite I eat, and I'm not gaining weight. I'm maintaining my weight. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling younger. My skin has gotten softer. I feel like I have more elasticity in my skin. I feel like my posture's improved. And I feel like I'm aging backwards. So I just turned 72, and I
Mhm.
feel young. I don't feel 72. I feel better than when I was in my 50s. So I think that's a real testament of being healthy, taking care of yourself, and prioritizing health. I mean, that's what I tell people sometimes when they want to know, well, why are you doing this? Or, gosh, it's expensive. I'm like, no, it's not really expensive. It is $5 a day. But when you think about it, how much is your health worth to you? $5 a day is really not that much. And considering that I'm not eating breakfast, if I'm replacing what I ate for breakfast, $5 a day is really not a big deal. So I do want to be able to share with you what I'm doing. And Carrie, we didn't talk about this ahead of time. How am I going to share the link? You'll put it, I guess, up afterwards.
Yeah,
I
we
have.
can put the link on the description page, and also a link to I don't know if you have do you just have do you
I
have
just
a website or
No, I advertise through my Facebook page.
oh, okay.
So if people, my personal page. So before
Oh,
I
okay.
talk to you about my school page,
Uh-huh.
my business page, this is
Yeah.
my person on my
So then
personal page.
maybe,
I have it.
well, if you're here local, you can go to Linda's personal Facebook page, but we'll put up a link. And for those that are not local, and we'll put up a link if you want to purchase the product for your health journey.
Yeah, I think it's something that is beneficial to all of us that are aging, all of us that are finding it difficult to lose weight as we're getting older, all
Hmm.
of us that feel like we could have any type of insulin resistance. It's well worth the effort of giving it a try. And
Hmm.
the nice thing about the product is it does have a 3 month money back guarantee. If you're on it for 3 months and you're not totally satisfied, you can ask to be reimbursed and they have no problem with
Okay, that's
reimbursing
good.
you.
So you have three
So,
months
mhm.
to try it and see how well it's working for you. That's awesome. I love that.
So another slide that I didn't get to share with you, if you don't mind if I go gray screen again, I'm going to read it to you, and it's
Okay.
just
Yeah.
some of the other things about the protocol. It has had 20 plus clinical studies. It is HSA and FSA qualified. It is in 50 countries around the world. It is patented, and as I just explained to you, it is guaranteed. And again, $5 per day. You take two teas in the morning and you take one before you eat. And it is suggested that you do intermittent fasting unless, of course, you're nursing or pregnant
Mhm.
or under a certain age, you wouldn't want to do those things. But
Yeah,
you,
and that intermittent fasting, I just wanted to reiterate for them, it can be from eight, let's say eight in the evening, or in your case, don't eat
I
after,
said seven. Yeah.
and then the next would be noon.
Right.
Right?
Correct. Correct.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so
And
now,
then I also wanted to share that my daughter, who had been on metformin and had been on the Ozempic, has also been on this protocol. And I have one more picture to share with you. She actually lost 50 pounds on the Ozempic. And then I was so afraid that once she got off the Ozempic, sorry, I need to get out of this, that she would gain weight back.
mhm.
But because she is on the protocol, there's a picture of her.
Oh, yes.
She was 50 pounds heavier than that.
Yes, she looks great.
And she's also on the protocol and doing great. And she's special needs. So it's hard to control her eating the same way that I control mine, for example.
Mhm.
She's an adult. She wants to eat when she's hungry, but she takes the tea and she takes the fiber and she's maintaining her weight. And I just think it's great because I was so worried when she got off the Ozempic that she would gain all that weight back, and she's not.
Oh,
So it does help
yeah.
anybody that has been on Ozempic that or is on Ozempic or one of those shots that you can use this product to get off those shots. I weaned her off it. It took about a month to wean her off it. That was back in June. This picture was taken just a couple months ago. So it's very recent and she's maintained and doing good. And yeah, I'm super proud of her too for just I mean she's like amazing because she knows where it is, and for somebody in her special needs world to
Hmm.
like something and want to do it, and she goes and gets it herself and she makes it, and then she brings it with her to lunch. There's been days that I have forgotten to bring mine with me, and she'll have her little stick in her back pocket because she knows where it is and she went and got it. I'm like, oh my God, you're doing better than me, girl. I'm just, trying to get everything ready for work and I forget to get mine and she's got hers in her back pocket.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
I
she
haven't seen her since she had started the Ozempic. So that is really great because
Yeah.
I visually could see a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yes, because
Yeah.
I know her, I have seen her, and I have not seen her since she lost the weight though. So wow, that is amazing because she looks great. She really does. Um so the protocol is the what is
Unicity.
you
Unicity.
okay. And it's just a powder and then you add water, correct?
Yep. Yep. You drink 2 teas and a fiber a day. So if you put the link up, the best thing to do is for people to go there on the link and it has all the information about it. And you can look at the information there. It's better to do it that way than to
Mm-hmm.
Google it because Googling it, you're not going to get the correct information. You'll get information, but it's
Right.
not necessarily going to be the correct information. So the best thing to do is look at the link that Carrie puts up and it will give you all the information. And then I'm available.
Yes, if you want
You,
support, Linda is the person to look for that information because she can support you in it and you won't just have the drinks and no support. You'll have Linda and the drinks and she'll support you all the way through your journey.
absolutely. Answer all your questions and yeah, we post on the Facebook page and people can ask questions and support each other too in the journey.
Yes, and if you have any questions, you can also ask the questions in these comments, and we'll check back if Linda checks and the comments, she will see them. But if she doesn't notice, since it's my podcast, I notice I will send her. I will give her the heads up. Ask questions because that is the best way to find information is to ask questions but the best way to ask questions is through the links that she's going to send you because you'll have direct access to her. Definitely ask in the comments if you need to, but definitely go so that she can personally support you. And that's the best way to go about it. Now, is there anything else that you want the audience to know?
Well, I mean, I think that just prioritizing your health and wellness,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, coming from the place of a busy mom, taking care of my kids, taking care of my husband, it was something that for years I didn't actually do. So I just encourage each of you to think about where you are and if you are prioritizing it, and if you're not, then take a step today and stop and see what you might be able to do to put a little more priority on taking care of yourself because whoever's in your world needs you and needs you to be your best self. And being your best self takes some time to take care of yourself. So I just want everyone to take care of themselves and be better today than you were yesterday. That's all.
To remind you that I've got an echo here for some reason now. But she raised 10 kids. She homeschooled her kids, and she now has a school that she runs, and she is able to take care of her health. So if you can do that, and if she can do it, you can do it. And just reach out to her, and she'll support you all the way. So now let's talk about what do you do for fun? I know we mentioned it on another podcast, but we may have some new listeners here.
Well, for fun, I do like to spend time with my family and I like to cook. So, one of the things that I do for fun is make meals for my family, for my kids. My son actually just called me last night because we're going to celebrate his 50th birthday. And he's, Mom, can you grill lamb for us? And I'm like, Of course I can grill lamb for you. That's
You know,
kind of our family special tradition because we learned to eat lamb being overseas. So we lived in Turkey And there is one dish that I make, and it's called Iskander kebab. Not everybody knows it. It's a Turkish dish. You put the pita bread on your plate. You put lamb on top of that, then a tomato sauce, then butter, then yogurt, or yogurt and butter.
Mhm.
But it's my kids love it, and it's one of those things that we do as a special occasion. And that's what he wants me to do for his birthday. I was like, sure, you got it.
Yes.
So
And
I enjoy cooking for my kids
yeah,
or
well,
family or friends.
when you enjoy cooking, it makes, meal prepping a little easier too. But you don't have to love cooking to meal prep. I'm just saying, love to cook. And I bet you have the meal planning down to science, huh?
Meal prepping was my thing, especially if you want to lose weight. The best way to lose weight is not to grab food, not think ahead of time about what you're going to eat, but you have it there. This is the amount, this is what you eat, and you don't go for seconds. I mean, that's one of the big things that we all tend to do is like, oh, that was so good, let's have a little more. But portion control is a big thing. Portion control is like, you don't need to eat as much as you think you need to eat or want to eat.
Our dinner plate at my house is no longer the dinner plate. We eat on the cake plates. That's how we eat at home.
There
And
you go.
but tell them a little bit about how you meal plan, just in case some of the things that you do for meal planning helps them. What is it that makes meal planning for you? Uh, is there a way to simplify it for those watching?
I think the main thing and where I always start is what is the protein in the meal. So I cook dinner every night. So at the beginning of the week, usually on Sunday, sometimes Saturday, depends. I plan the meals for the week. So I sit down, what are the five proteins I'm going to have Monday to Friday? I'm going to have salmon, I'm going to have chicken, I'm going to have ground turkey, I'm going to have start with the protein. Once you have the protein, then you build around it. I'm going to have a vegetable, I'm going to have a salad, I'm going to have a whole grain. And to be honest with you, sometimes I just have two vegetables. I don't even have another grain or carb or potato or sweet potato or anything like that. So
Yeah,
I
and
like to major on the protein, major on the vegetables, healthy fat. Make sure you have some avocado, some healthy fat in there. Those are the main things that you want to look at when you're trying to meal prep. And basically knowing ahead of time what you're going to make and being able to buy your groceries, go and get your groceries for the week.
mhm.
Because usually what tends to happen is when you make those daily trips to the store, you're buying things that you don't really need, but you see them at the moment and you're like, oh yeah, get that. Oh, get that. And then it's not necessarily the healthy stuff that you're getting when you make those daily trips to the store. So
Yeah, especially
planning ahead and shopping for a week is one of the most efficient ways to meal plan.
yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, and sometimes, well, actually here at my house, we only have one side dish. We have protein and we'll have one side dish. Last night it was just black beans that I added a can of Rotel tomatoes to. And we had black beans, and that was it. So yeah. I love meal planning, but I won't take up all the rest of the video talking about what I do. Okay, so now what is something messy, just like the other video, but of course we've got, new listeners, hopefully. What's the messy part of your life and what are you the most proud of?
I think messy is just the things we tend to stress over, whether they're real or not real. We
Yeah,
always have things
a
that
thing. It can be
that
mindset, right?
yeah, I mean, sometimes, oh, I just found out I need to get $6,000 worth done on my car, and I'm like, oh my God, that's terrible. But then
Mhm.
I found out it's covered under warranty, and I was like, oh, well, that's not so bad.
Yeah, sometimes we panic first, right? We go to
Yeah.
God, hopefully, and then we're like, Oh, okay. 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 That I
So,
can,
I mean, stress is the messy, I think. And
yeah.
I mean, lifelong lessons of learning to manage that. And,
Mhm.
it's not something, we're human. We never totally get the victory over
Mhm.
leaning on our own strength or thinking we have to do it or whatever. But learning to trust God, just
Yeah.
learning to trust God.
Yeah. All right. So, what would you say you're the most proud of?
The most proud of. Well, I guess just where I am in my health and wellness journey, since that's the topic of this
Yeah.
conversation, and that I feel like God has led me in what I'm doing, put me in front of the right people. I
Mhm.
have a great coach, and he's just helped me tremendously in my life and continuing to help others, and even being on this protocol. He's still checking in with me and seeing how it's going. And, I appreciate that. But just being able to be consistent these last 6 years in my health and wellness journey, I think that's what I'm most proud of consistency, because as you know, it's easy to
Or-
start something and then fall off.
Mhm.
But being consistent is key. So the
Yeah,
last six
because not
years,
you've got a consistency of working out, so you've developed some consistent habits towards your weight loss. And let's tell them again how much you've lost.
I've lost 75 pounds.
75 pounds. And your daughter,
55.
55. So that's where she has a lot to be proud of right there.
Yeah.
And that is great testimonial. I love that. All right. So tell them how they can reach out to you for the protocol. And we are also going to have that in the description. And I guess that'll be the end of our podcast.
Thank you so much, Carrie. Really appreciate you. And like she said, you'll find a link that she is going to put for
Mhm.
you. Just hopefully you'll just click on the link and that's all you need to do. So that's the way to get in touch.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on and telling us about your protocol. We appreciate it. And we will see you on the next podcast. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching.